Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to do my August flip. So I've been in the Discbound system for exactly 1 month, and I wanted to talk about the sections and show you guys how I used each insert throughout this month. So what I do want to say first and foremost is that I love the Discbound system, but using this solely by itself just wasn't feasible for me after using it for the month. So I had to include a sidekick, something that was easy. I shared a little bit of that. I've updated that system too, so I'll share that in terms of like the September setup and stuff like that. And I'm possibly going to be switching out this cover because my planner grew from the initial time that I showed you guys. It grew, more stuff got added. So let's go ahead and get this flip started. So this month I really utilized this as my main planner. This pretty much had everything that I needed, and it really helped. It did give me the feel of like how I used to have my sections with my rings, but what I liked about this was that I could have everything, opposed to sacrificing some sections because of the size of the rings. I was able to get majority of everything with the disc. So somewhere in the midst of this month, I added my cleaning checklist. This was a checklist that I made back when we were in Germany, before we PCS'd here. I just added it in here because we have a new routine and I've been using this as a sole guide. And I ended up adding in some clear pockets and stuff like that. This was something that I really wanted, was just like a place to put like miscellaneous receipts, papers, things like that. So I have quite a few of them in here. Now some things, all of this stuff I already showed. I used this, but I did not use the ideas and plans sheet. Not that I didn't want to use it, it was just that at the time I didn't feel a need to use it. I did start Weight Watchers a little over 2 weeks ago, and I have started back on the diabetic diet, following the 30 breakfast, 60 lunch and dinner carb meals, or whatever, however you want to explain that. But I've started that again, and it's been really rough. So right now we are trying to get ready for baby number 2, and part of it was my health was one concern factor, and then 2, my weight was the second concern factor. So trying to get ready for that, and it requires a lot of discipline on my end. So probably this coming month, September, I will definitely be utilizing the goal section. And then here's August. So August started out, I did not know what to do with this whole command center here. It was a blur to me as to what to do with these 3 circles. I watched a bunch of YouTube videos to get some kind of an idea, but ultimately just ended up doing whatever. I think I ended up doing like 3 top goals, and to be honest with you, I didn't reference this because it didn't stand out to me, so it was kind of a blur. At the end of August, I did come back to this section and I did like a reference, or not a reference, like a review page, like a August in review type of thing. There were some things that I was trying to figure out because throughout the course of this month, I'm not going to lie to you, there were several times that I played around with going back to my bullet journals after spending so much money on this system. And it wasn't because I didn't like the system or that the system wasn't working for me. No, it definitely worked. It was more along the lines of boredom and the monotonous of doing the same kind of spreads over and over. So this coming month, September, I included a sidekick like I referenced to kind of combat that. So first month spread, which I did not like, but all of the sticky notes definitely meant a lot to me because I felt like August was a busy month nonetheless. Started out fairly plain. I touched bases on how I used these sections, and as you start to see like progressively throughout the month, I do change these sections quite a bit. Like I started out with a timed section on the daily pages because it was intended for that, I believe. But that didn't ultimately work for me because my schedule, our routine changed so much. I will say that I might include a timed schedule again, maybe not in the daily pages, we'll see, but that's something that ended up changing. Top three changes from errands to like the top three errands that I have to do, or the top three things. Like it's either labeled top three must do errands and so forth. This was always my to do section for the entire month. Um, so I didn't change that section. This section was always meals. These two sections, this left hand side of the page was the only thing that really changed between like being notes and journal, top three, or what have you. It just changed periodically. And then down at the bottom I did gratitude, but moving forward for September I'm not doing gratitude. It may be either a tracker of some sort, like a water tracker. It may be affirmation. It may be something along the lines of that, but moving forward, I just don't want to do gratitude at the bottom. I think I want to do gratitude on one page for the entire month. Um, and then, yeah, I decorated the pages, which definitely helped. It definitely added some bulk. Now, what I will say moving forward is I think what I'm going to do, because my planner, what I learned with a disc, especially bigger disc, is that it's very easy to overstuff these discs because when I started out I had about this much room and then quickly added in like so many more things, and it got really really chunky really really fast. And then all the stickers that I've included on the pages made it bulk up a little bit more. So what I'm thinking to do is keep the last, current, and previous month. I'm still going to keep all my sections. I'm not getting rid of that, but I think what I'm going to do is like when I use the pages, speaking, like I used August, so I think I'm going to keep August and and then September, when September is finished, I'm going to pull August, and then September will stay. And then I will just start adding the next pages for, like 2023, because I have like 6 months worth of 2023. So I'm going to add those pages in as I pull pages out. So that way I can kind of like forward plan into the newer year. But, yeah, that's basically what I'm thinking about doing. Um, so yeah, this is how August really looked. This was a journaling spread. This is what I meant by like sometimes it was a to-do, sometimes it was journal, sometimes I didn't have anything in the top three. Sometimes I made a to-do list down here and just used journaling here, but this relatively always stay the same, and this section always stay the same. These were always meals and gratitude. um, and then like I said, it's this switched around so much. And I think ultimately, if I continue to stay with the Plum paper planner, I will definitely not date any sections. I did that with the weeklies. I labeled one habit tracker and another one important this week or something like that, and I regret doing that because I find myself covering it up sometimes. But yeah, moving forward, I probably will just leave every single section blank. But anyway, this was the dailies, and I used highlighter and pen most days. And this was the one I try to do for a day in a life. When I do a day in a life planner video, sort of say, I think people are expecting to see like, you go places with your planner, you take your planner here, but realistically speaking, I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I'm not taking this outside of the house. This stays in the house. So basically, if I just wanted to be realistic with, like, this is how I'm using it. I basically do my plans at night. I only showed me setting it up because, I wanted to show, like, this is basically what I do. I get up, I set it up, I look at the list, I follow a list. So I'm a lister, and I need to see things like what needs to be done for today. And then when I do them, I check them off. Um, so I don't know, maybe I'll get better at the day in a life video or something. It would be great if you guys give me some kind of ideas for videos. I don't really know what to make. I do these on a whim. I don't really plan them out. I try to, but it never really works out the way that I intend to. And then we're coming to the end of August, and I really loved that sticker book. Some of the spreads that are my favorite came from this antique sticker book that I really really loved. Um, and then this was Monday of this week. So here I was tracking. I think I was trying to figure out like my carbs and stuff, something like the grams and whatnot. So yeah, that kind of stuff. This is how I used this planner throughout this whole month. And then this, I didn't really know. So they give you like an extra note page at the end of the beginning and the end of each section, and I didn't really know what to do with this. So what I was doing was trying to figure out, like I just mentioned, I don't really know what to do with these YouTube videos. So I was trying to figure out like some content that might be um watchable or something like that. I don't know. And then I added in these clear pouches. I talked about them earlier. The most recent ones I added in was like these they're double-sided. So I added in these clear pouches, translucent ones, but the only difference between them is they are slightly taller, top and bottom, than the actual A5 inserts that are in the planner. So that's that. But I was originally going to replace these plum paper pockets, but I kind of like these for some things. I don't know. I only have 3 in here, so I don't know. And then they don't really fit the plum paper stickers as well. So I ended up, um, I know it's in here. I ended up putting one in the back to put the plum paper stickers in because it fits so much better in these pockets versus the pockets that they provide you with. So that's that. Just some miscellaneous things that I keep on me because, as you can see, I use sticky notes a lot. So let's go into the weekly section for August. Weekly section for August, I mentioned this already. I did not use the back of this because I didn't know what to do with the one in the daily section, and I obviously didn't know what to do with the one in here, so I just left it blank. I left this blank too. I didn't really need it. I was putting in my workouts in here, so I get a weekly workout schedule, and that's the schedule that I'm supposed to be following. But I did not do the workouts for this week that just passed, and I didn't bother putting the workouts in for this current week leading into September because why didn't I do that again? Oh, because I wasn't following the schedule this time. I was just kind of doing whatever workouts I had time for. So my routine, I do have a routine card that I created back when we were in Germany, and we sort of still kind of follow it. But my routine has slightly shifted a little bit from like when I created it then. So I work out when my son takes a nap now, and I try to get a bunch of house stuff done when he's napping. So I didn't write the workouts in because I haven't followed that schedule. That was a little bit too much detail, but so this was this first week of August. Like I mentioned, I labeled this important this week and this one habit tracker. And moving forward, I'm just going to leave them blank in total because I changed this midway through the month. I whited it out and labeled it moods. It was quite a few things this month. So I did not know what to do with this layout. When I ordered this layout, I really saw myself using this to write like categories for top, top things. But when I did this first week, I labeled them all top three, and it just looked. This was a messy week, and it was all over the place. Second week, I tried to figure out my groove. I wrote over it instead of whiting out. I made this moods because I didn't really like the habits. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't really like the habits, so I labeled it moods. And moods seemed to work, but I would use dots instead of check boxes because that didn't really work out. It kind of started laying itself out in the right way in terms of like what these two priority boxes would be, and then what the third box would be. But again, it was still a work in progress. And then I think this is when I got my groove with it. So I knew I wanted to do three things for the house because we have a chore chart, and I wanted to follow at least three top things that I wanted to get done for each day in the house, so that it was not overwhelming and that I wasn't doing a bunch of house tasks. So I labeled it three things for house and three things that I wanted to do for social media. So social media for me was either update my community tab, update IG, or work on a video idea or some sort. So every day I was brainstorming something for YouTube, or I'm sorry, every week I was brainstorming something for YouTube or my social media platforms, or I would label it personal, so something I had to personally do, the top three things for that. During this week, I was working on my driver's license because it had expired when we were overseas, and I needed to get my driver's license reinstated. So I had to do a couple of things for that. And so was making those like my top task and things like that. But this is when I started changing it to be moods, and I whited it out. And in this little box here, this is actually a box. It changed from being like a water tracker to like a simple water tracker. And then I think I just did one more water tracker. This was the previous week, and this was by far my favorite week, because all of these tasks were perfect. Like I had like this, I labeled this bottom section from Monday through Friday, I labeled as a to do, and it was just like a snapshot of things that I needed to do for each day. But the top parts were my priorities. So, like, if none of this got done, what are the top three from this that needs to be done? So, this was by far my favorite and most productive week. And then this is the current week that we're in. And I like this too. I like the simpleness of it. I like the fact that I just put a big reminder there versus using it for a water tracker moving forward. Like I said, I'm not going to do the water tracker there. Whoa. Okay. I forgot this page was even in the back. So this, here, let's do this. Can we do that? All right. Because I did not even know that that was right there. Okay, so I ended up using the, and I'll probably blur that out because I really forgot that that was there. But anyway, I ended up using the August budget sheet, like I mentioned. I wasn't using it in the beginning when I initially showed it and did the 2 week update because there was a lot of stuff going on in terms of that. But I like the idea of just having a budget sheet, just one budget sheet for the month, because I don't have to write everything. I think the thing I was getting wrapped up with is that I had to write absolutely everything that was coming out of the account in order to see. And really, all I want is I want to know what the fixed expenses are, and then I want to know what the miscellaneous expenses are, like variables, things like that. So I really liked this, and it was very useful. So I will say that for September, I actually don't have anything. So I didn't do the monthly, but I did do like the end of the August week leading into the September week. Now, here's the thing. Plum Paper does this crazy thing where they have the same weeks in both months, and it's throughout the entire planner. Um, so this is the end of, so this is August leading into September because it's grayed out, and then this is August leading into September. So these are technically the same weeks. I didn't plan here for September because I could put it in this first week of September, which is crazy. I actually could pull the sheet out and just disregard this page altogether, but then I'd be missing part of the first of the month. So it's weird the way that they lay it out, but I found like a way to use it. So this one I kept habits, and then this one I changed into a mood tracker. So it kind of works out because you can double plan for both on both spreads, but it's weird. The only thing new that I added in for September is in the daily section, and this will go into the September setup. But the only thing that I added into the September setup is I subscribed to, so I canceled my Sweet Kawaii Design stickers and got the Plum Paper subscription. And I got these stickers to kind of help me out with, like I mentioned, this back area that I didn't know what to do with initially. I got the stickers to help me out here. So I turned this into like a monthly tracker, just some things that have to be done monthly, like changing the filter for our central air, like our home filter. And then this is going to be an inbox. And then more than likely I've added in some note pages too in the back of the September month. So I could do, wow, I didn't know that. Hold on, wait. Because I swear August wasn't like that. Oh, wow. So yeah, August isn't like that. So August has 2 note pages. So a page on the front and then a page on the back. But for September, they only have September, and then there is a daily on the back of that. So, that's kind of new. But nonetheless, I can always just add a sheet of paper like I have here. I think I'm going to do one for gratitude and then one for reflection. So, or like a September in review. But I don't have anything for September really set up. I do have the monthly set up. I don't really like I like the date covers, but I don't like the numbers, like the number stickers. It just makes it look a little too gimmicky for me, but I don't like the number stickers, but I like the date covers. And then I didn't do the daily for today. There's actually nothing really going on for today, so I will probably just throw down some journaling, some memory keeping on that page. But we do have stuff going on for Friday, so Friday will be a regular day. But that was my August and disc. Planner got super chunky super fast. I'm probably gonna switch out this cover. I have another cover. I'm probably gonna switch that out. I also ordered something from the Happy Planner website that I'm hoping that will work for the time being, but I'm gonna take the Jane's agenda covers off because I fear that I will break them, seeing as how chunky this thing has gotten over the last month. This is my sidekick, and I will make a full video in regards to this for the September setup. But until then, stick around to see that. Stay tuned to see that, rather. But yeah, guys, that's it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in the next video.